First, I start off moisturizing my face with my CeraVe lotion. I just picked this up at Walmart or Walgreens. It's just a lotion that I use to moisturize due to my eczema. After that, I end up spraying my face with our It Works toner, which you guys have seen me use before. I use it as my primer. I use it to wake myself up since I shower at night. Big difference from using it. After I prime my face, I go in. This is where you would use your foundation to start off with. But for me, I use a BB cream. I like to go for a little bit more of a natural look. I only go for full coverage if I know I'm like taking pictures or going to an event or concert or something like that. Again, I'm using Maybelline's BB cream. I just use it and I spread it all over my face. I have a new set of brushes that I got at a trade show. I don't even know what you call them, but they're the flat ones that you see me using. I like to use this for my foundation. I just feel like it kind of goes on a lot easier for me. So again, I'm using a BB cream to start off with. So since I've been using my toner, I am actually using it on my beauty blender. I dampen my beauty blender with a spray or two for my toner instead of using water, just because I found out that the water is actually drying out my face since I live in the desert. So thanks, Vegas. But anyways, I'm using Tarte's concealer under my eye where I tend to get some of my redness. I'm just using my beauty blender to blend that in. After my concealer, I'm using my e.l.f. brush, and I go in there with LA Girl Pro Powder that I picked up at Ulta. Definitely a good setting powder for the price. So again, I'm just putting that on top of my concealer. I'm not brushing it on. I'm just tapping to get a big amount of powder to go ahead and set that concealer. It is creaseless concealer, but I still like to set it just because it gives it more of a natural look. And more of a matte look than it does a dewy look. So I let that sit for a few minutes. You guys do not have to let your setting powder sit or even put setting powder over your concealer. It's all personal preference. Again, I found that my concealer doesn't crease, but I do go for more of a matte look than I do a dewy look. So I just let that sit on top of my concealer, and I find it a perfect time to go in and do my eyebrows since I know that'll take a few minutes while the setting powder sits. So I picked this up at Cosmoprof. You can pick it up. Honestly, I think they sell this stuff at a lot of stores. If you guys do eyelashes, false eyelashes, I'm sure you guys have heard of the brand Ardell lashes. Well, they all, I can't even talk. They also have, what I saw was a little brow palette. So it comes with a wax pencil, which actually has a sharpener on it. So it's very convenient. I just rub that on top of my my eyebrows after I use a spoolie to brush out any of the hairs and get it kind of going in the direction that I want my brows, which I tend to go a little bit more upward to give it an arch. Again, personal preference. So I go in with that wax stick. I go over my eyebrows, and then I use my very thin angled brush to go in with some of the brown powder, and I just fill in my brows. I'm new to doing my brows, so I've been actually looking up different ways to do them and different arches for my face. But I have a little bit of a thin eyebrow, so it's more for just looks for me. It just gives it more of that full look rather than having a thin eyebrow. Very simple to do for those of you who don't like to take too much time in the morning. I literally just throw a little bit of color on top of my eyebrows and I call it a day. After I'm done filling them in, I do go back in with my little spoolie, my little eyelash wand, whatever you guys want to call it. And I just brush out a little bit of that wax, kind of get them to look as natural as possible. After my brows, I go in and I brush off any of that excess setting powder that I had sitting on my under eye, just to kind of go ahead and again, give it more of that matte look. I brush off any of that excess. And then at that time, after I've gone in with my concealer, I did get a new palette of eyeshadow, which I don't even think I really had an eyeshadow palette before. But I graduated and my best friend surprised me with a little gift. So I am using here BH Cosmetics eyeshadow palette. And guys, it's amazing. I'm doing more of a neutral brown look, so you're not going to see a ton of color while I'm doing my eyeshadow in this video. But I'll show you some of the brighter colors, and I actually am ordering a couple of their palettes since I love it so much. They have a Rio palette, and it's bright pinks and blues and greens. I kind of want to do something fun for my next video since I've just been showing you guys more of my daily natural look. So again, I'm going in there and I'm doing just a natural tan eyeshadow. I go in with my palette and I do a little bit of a lighter color under my brow line. And now it is time to contour. I don't even know if I'm technically doing this up to par as far as like the YouTube stars go. But this is what I learned in school as far as to contour the cheekbone. So I actually go in and physically feel where my cheekbone is so that I know exactly where to put my bronzer. And I go in there and I know it looks a little bit dark, but I go in and I blend it. You want to go ahead and blend upwards. Don't blend downwards or you're just going to get a flake of brown on like your like towards your chin, and that's not really what you want. So you want to go ahead and just keep blending until you get that desired look that you're going for. At least that's what I do. You always want to use your highlighter obviously after your contour, just because you don't want that brown mixing in with whatever highlight you're doing. So I go in and I go under my eye, above the contour line that I did. I do a little bit on my nose, some on my forehead, a little bit on my chin to give it just a little bit of that natural glow. So I'm using an eyelash curler, and I just have to say, you guys, that these things are a lot more dangerous than you think or that they look. These things can literally rip out your eyelashes, so you need to be extremely careful when curling your eyelashes. And also check your curler, just because that little rubber part that's on your eyelash curler, if that starts to like not be there anymore, you can physically, as I look at my eyelash, and I think there's an eyelash stuck in my curler right now, you can pull out your eyelashes. It's not going to feel good, it's not going to look good, and you're going to be very upset. So be very careful when it comes to curling your eyelashes. Just gives it that extra little curl. And I go in, I got a new mascara to try. I did just like a little sample from Sephora, from Lancome. I brush on my mascara just a little bit before doing my eyeliner. I don't know why, again, it's just preference. And don't stress out about your eyeliner. I decided that I was going to do it for this video because why not do it, and since I can't just keep redoing it. So here goes. So after I did my eyeliner, again, I did go in with my mascara. It is, again, personal preference, but I like to just brush my eyelashes a little bit with mascara so that I can get a look of what my eyeliner is going to look like. Sometimes I do my eyeliner a little bit thicker, depending on what my eyelashes are doing for the day. So I went in with my mascara and I do my bottom lashes first, because the worst thing that can happen is you do your eyeliner, you're finally actually happy with it, and then you go to do your mascara and you look up and now you have eyeliner on the top of your eyelid. So just be careful with that. After my mascara, I go in with my eyeshadow and I do just a little bit of a darker brown since I don't do eyeliner on the bottom eye. Or bottom lid, I mean. I do just a little bit of eyeshadow on the outside with a little bit of like a gold or a lighter color on the inside, just to kind of open up my eyes since I have little eyes. And after, before I do my lipstick, I do set my makeup with my It Works toner, and it does smell amazing, which is why I'm smiling. After I set my makeup with my toner, I do go in with my brush and I just brush off my lips to get any of that excess oil or any of that excess makeup. The reason that I do my toner before my lipstick is I want to make sure that my lips are as dry as possible before adding any sort of color. It's just going to make that lipstick last longer, whether you're using the long-lasting lipstick or you're using just any lipstick. Honestly, you want to make sure that your lips are as dry as possible before going in there and placing that lipstick. So I'm using Bella Lip Scents in this video. Again, I am obsessed with my lip scents. It does not smudge. I'm able to kiss my niece and nephew without leaving smudges. I'm able to kiss my boyfriend without getting lipstick all over his face, because what man wants lipstick all over his face? So again, I'm using the color Bella in this video. After applying the color, I do let it dry for about a minute. While it's drying, I do go in there and I pucker my lips just to get that inside of my lip. Because I'm wearing a dark color, I don't want it to be two different colors, and it kind of looks funny when it is like that. So I'm just going in, I'm just kind of brushing up some of my powder, making sure everything is blended, and then I go in with my matte lip gloss. My favorite thing is that I can wear any color and make it matte or gloss, which is pretty freaking cool.